Mimi Bachelor Studio is pleased to present a unique, chapter-by-chapter narrated audio and visual interpretation of Timothy Leary's 1974 book, The Curse of the Oval Room. The opening segment provides insight into this visionary tale and is read directly from the original book. This provocative introduction to the story are the thoughts, words, and wisdom of actor, activist, and writer Dick Gregory, born October 1932 and passed away August 19, 2017. Narrated by Mimi Bachelor. All content in this video is for entertainment purposes only. I've said before that it's no accident the great revolutionaries of history have all been political prisoners. I could almost predict who'll be the leading revolutionaries of the future by looking at the court records of past arrests and figuring out which folks have gone to regret something they didn't do. It's not at all surprising that prison provides this unique form of higher education. A long period of confinement is an excellent opportunity to plan revolutionary action. When the initial anger and resentment over false arrest and conviction wear off, it changes to shrewd calculation. The political prisoner develops a new attitude, a more long-range view of the total struggle, and the realization that change not be immediate. He or she sees the futility as spontaneous outbreak and plans a determined strategy for revolutionary action. The political prisoner sees that the reality and totality of change is more important than a rushed timetable. So it's not at all surprising either to hear Tim Leary speak of the high level of prison conversation, discussions about the great political and philosophic questions and their solution. This book is one of a series of seminars Brother Tim is conducting from behind the closed doors of his political confinement. And we are all his students outside the physical conditions of his current ordeal, but thankfully able to glimpse inside his ever-expansive mind. As always, Tim Leary combines the professional expertise of the Harvard psychology professor with his nitty-gritty political and acute sensitivity and awareness fashioned from his years of experiences to a street-level activist and brother. So Professor Brother Tim observed the snooping and spying of the current administration, and he's able to give us a professional explanation. He says the compulsion to spy on others comes from the sexual curiosity of the prepubescent child who burns to know what grown-ups do behind bedroom doors. If that's true, then Nixon's mama and daddy must have slept in a vault. Only his frustration caused him to burn prepubescent Southeast Asian children. As a supreme symbolic victim of repression, Tim is right on target in analyzing what's behind repressive actions. He says those responsible for repressive measures see the so-called enemy as anyone who keeps them from power. Just look at Nixon's enemy list. That came out in the Watergate hearings. There wasn't one Viet Cong on that list. I was on the list, and when I saw it, I thought I was reading an advanced copy of Who's Who in America. President Nixon said in his second inaugural address, "Ask not what your government can do for you, but rather what you can do for yourself." With more and more former White House aides going to jail, it's entirely appropriate that a probing analysis of Watergate and its universal implication and application should come from behind closed prison doors. Or, as Tim reminds us, the wheel of karma keeps on turning. It's the wheel of fortune and misfortune, of favor and disfavor, of opposition and retribution. The German Gestapo spied on everybody, kicked down doors, and dragged folks off to concentration camps. America fought a war supposedly in opposition to such activity, but America used some of those same German minds to set up an intelligence system here in the United States, which evolved into the CIA. The wheel turns, and CIA agents get caught red-handed opening the closed doors of the National Democratic Committee headquarters in the Watergate building. They were caught, by the way, by Black brother Frank Wills, a representative of the target group to occupy the concentration camps in America. Tim speaks in this book of the curse of the Oval Room, and he says if the system is to be changed, the curse must be exorcised. His observations couldn't be more timely. Right now, the book and the movie The Exorcist has everybody worried about demons and possession. Priests all over the country are being called upon to bring their crucifixes and chose the devil. Even Tricia Nixon's husband, Ed Cox, got into the act. He told a group of pro-Nixon demonstrators the morning after the State of the Union message that his father-in-law was the victim of one of the most vicious witch hunts in American history. And White House aide General Haig said there were evil forces behind the erasure of some 18 minutes off of crucial presidential tapes. There's a world of difference between politicians and statesmen or women, and quite a difference for the world. The difference involves morality, intellect, and emotion. In times of crisis, the politician flexes muscle. The politician twists arms politically, sends in the army, and otherwise sees force and power as the solution to problems. As long as folks continue to pollute their own bodies, abuse and oppress their own bodily temples through wrong eating habits, we can expect to see pollution and oppression as a continuing, unnatural way of life in this country. Folks will surely abuse others as they abuse themselves. But when the body is cleansed through fasting and proper diet, the mind is also purified. And since our social and political environmental problems were created by the polluted thoughts and actions of human beings in the first place, pure minds and cleansed bodies will eliminate those same problems. There is every indication that Watergate has turned on a new wave of thought in these United States. And as we would expect, one of the highest crests of those Watergate waves is the following wisdom of Timothy Leary.
the grave.